You're looking at a nice Jaguar D-Type into a nice Porsche 911, and I'm sitting on a 1980s Formula One car. We're here at CNC Motorsport near Cheltenham. They've just invested in a Hurco machine, so I wonder what it is that they're making on it. There's some impressive parts here today, and of course an impressive machine from Hurco. We're going to find out exactly the reason why, Alan, you bought it, but first, CNC Motorsport, what is it that you're making here?
We basically make out of production parts for historic motorsport and race cars from 50s right the way through to the mid-90s. And they're basically either reverse engineered from original components or drawings.
And what materials are you using? It's so different.
Predominantly, most of our products are aluminium, but it ranges from various states of steels, mild steels, through to more slightly exotic with EN24s, that kind of thing.
Okay, and for me, I see what I mean is it's so different is you don't see parts like this anymore, and you're talking very small batch work, aren't you?
Yeah, volumes are very low. It can be from single components. If we do what you might deem for us a production run, it would be 10 components possibly.
So really?
Some of the piece parts are really small volume, car sets basically.
So you've got a lathe here, but you've also gone for a brand new mill from Hurco, the VM20 machine. So what was the reason behind this purchase?
We had a previous machine and it just wasn't doing it for us. It was letting us down. And we needed something that worked and was reliable and thankfully is producing parts quicker.
And what's quite interesting is you went down to the facility in High Wycombe and you were really impressed with the demonstration, weren't you?
Yeah, very impressed. My son and I went down there, we met David and Andy, one of the apps guys, to do the demo. And the first thing that struck us was the fact that they were machining steel faster than our old machine could machine aluminium. We just stood there and looked at each other and thought, that's kind of sold it.
But this has really changed the way that you machine. That's what's quite interesting. You're looking at parts differently, different to what you've ever done before.
Yeah, we've now got the capability that lots of our components require long tooling from a reach point of view. So we buy tooling that's got lots of flute length, but we never used it before, and now we've changed the way that we machine. We're using the full length of the cutter. They obviously last longer because they're not loaded the same. You can machine much faster because you're not putting the leverage on the tool from just working on the tips of the tool. It's just a far better way of machining.
You know what, it's quite interesting, I've not really heard that before. So are you telling me that you're probably saving money on tooling? Is that correct? Would it be fair to say that?
It means that the tools do last that much longer, so you're not working, you've got a 20mm length of flute on a tool, or maybe longer, and you're not machining with 5mm of it. You're using the whole 20mm. So it's loading the machine properly, it's loading the tool properly, it cuts more efficiently. So yeah, the tooling costs are obviously something to be considered.
Tooling costs, but also time savings that you're making too.
It was quite an eye-opener as to how well the machine performs compared to what we were seeing before. Material removal rate is night and day different to what it was before.
So tell me about the example that you've got on the machine at the moment. What time savings are you looking at on this piece?
That piece part particularly is probably somewhere between 40 minutes and an hour quicker to machine now the way that we're machining.
But with small batch work, is that really making such a difference for you?
You'd think not, and we used to think it wasn't that important that a machine could machine something 5 minutes quicker than another machine or a cutter could perform any better. But at the end of the day, when it stacks up, it does make a difference. You can put, albeit small volume parts, through quicker, but you get onto the next small volume parts that much sooner.
And then with Max Control, what are your thoughts on this?
Superb. Just so effective, relatively simple to use. There's always an element of a learning curve when you start using new software, but it really performs. It really performs very well. And the machining strategies works well with, like we were saying before, the type of cuts that you take, that reflects on tooling life, and that reflects on how quickly it produces a piece part.
Oh, and this, I know you've got so much more. You know, when you went down there, you actually bought the whole machine as it is right now, so they offered you the fourth axis as well.
Yeah, it was a requirement that we wanted, was the fourth axis capability as well. That was a package that they put together for us when we bought the machine.
You happy with Hurco?
Yeah, very.
And why?
Because it works. The team work. You know, you pick up the phone and you've got a query. It's answered. It's sorted out. And if an email's sent, somebody's responded to it. And if a couple of days later, one of the other guys in the apps office spots an email and not sure whether it's been responded to, they're on the phone to find out whether it's been resolved or not. So overall, the whole experience of being a customer of Hurco, you feel like a customer. You're not just somebody who's bought a machine and that's it. So it's very good, yeah, very positive.
And you're looking to improve the machine's efficiency in the future too.
Yeah, with the fourth axis, we're not in any way, shape using the full capability of the machine. With fixturing and tooling, we can produce multiple parts with the programming, with changing the fixturing to using a tombstone on the fourth axis rotary, so that we can load a whole car's worth of components in one hit and machine all of those all in one go, rather than individual component machining.
I mean, you've got so much longevity with this machine and your company.
I certainly hope so, yeah. It's proving that it's worth every penny that it's taken to get it in through the workshop door, and it's earning money and it's working and performing really well.